Today we are finally reviving Franzy's 240 SX. If you guys didn't know, this car has been down for a couple months, basically all summer, and that is because it's not been running right. So we went ahead and repaired the intercooler, bought a new turbo, bought a turbo manifold, and we're gonna slap all that on today. What?
Spider web,
Oh,
look at that.
That is a nasty web. She's scared of spiders.
Oh my god, look at that web. No way. I'm not going under this car. The fuck?
It's already dressed up for Halloween. It's perfect. Spooky decorations are in full effect.
I'm terrified right now. Like,
come on.
Terrified is not understatement.
Oh, what is this? Spark plugs.
Oh, are you gonna see this one?
Oh, I forgot I left those out. At least I covered the holes. I did bring new ones too. I forgot about that. Let's see what we got in this box. Put everything in the Tomei box. Heat wrap. Don't think I'll be using that. The Tomei manifold that Smokes repaired for us. These are known to crack along the flange, and then he also went ahead and resurfaced the turbo side and the flange. So this is perfectly straight, reinforced, and all the cracks have been welded. So got a 5-layer gasket. New spark plugs to throw in. We'll do that probably last. An oil restrictor because we are upgrading the turbo. The stock turbo is a T25, but this turbo that came with her engine is a generic eBay one, so we don't actually know what it is. But we upgraded to a T28. And since this T28 turbo is not factory to an S13 SR, we need a clocking kit. So I bought this clocking kit from a company that I'm not going to name, but I think it's missing a gasket. I don't know if it is or not. Gonna have to research that because the outlet is not gonna sit in the factory location.
Scared.
Have a vacuum out to the engine bay.
Holy fuck.
While Franzy is vacuuming out all the spiders in the car, let's start disconnecting this intercooler piping. All right, now we got to take off the exhaust right here on the back. Figured it was easier to take off the 3 bolts down here, and then we'll leave the hot pipe still connected to the turbo. We finally got the manifold free from the head, but I didn't take off the lines. And there's 4 lines: the oil drain, the oil feed, and then 2 coolant ports. My thought process was it'd be a lot easier to get those lines off if I had some wiggle room. That might have made it harder for myself, but we'll still get it done. Also, I might have to take off this power steering reservoir because there's no way I'm gonna be able to slide up the turbo and the manifold in one piece with that in the way. Well, actually, maybe. It's pretty close. We'll wait. So instead of disconnecting the lines directly from the turbo, I'm actually going to disconnect them from their points. So for example, all the way back here, and then there's 2 on the block on the inside, and then the turbo drain is pretty easy. You just kind of slide that up last. 1 out of 4 connections done. Looks like we're going to have to take off this power steering reservoir after all. Close though, but not quite. She's out. Here it is. This thing looks pretty crusty. Looks like there was a slight oil leak coming from the oil drain area. There is some oil inside of the intake side. That's not good. And the previous owner of this SR installed this Schrader valve here. That's quite unique. Definitely gonna want to replace that or weld it shut or something. We might as well just take that off now so I don't forget. We'll get that welded by Smokes. Plus then we can check the turbine and see if there's any shaft play. Oh, there's a rubber gasket here. Minimal shaft play. Nothing too crazy. Turbo's still good, I guess. Actually, there is some scoring now that I'm seeing that. Kind of see some lines in there. Maybe it was actually going out. When I push the turbine down, it does not want to move. It is definitely grinding on the housing. Good thing we stopped driving this car. That could have caused some serious damage to the engine. Now we could just slap the new turbo on, but with all this old crusty hardware, I don't even want to think about doing that. So I'm gonna order some and we're gonna have to come back to this. But that's okay, we have plenty of other projects to work on. But I will say it is great to be working on this car again. Now we're at Nate's. We're about to do an exhaust job on his RSX. He's owned this car for, how long have you had this thing? Like a year, right?
About a year and a couple months, yeah.
Year and a couple months. And this is the first time we're actually doing something to the car other than regular maintenance. And we're doing the exhaust because it's a little bit loud.
Okay at idle.
At idle's okay.
Fine right now, actually. I'll say it sounds good right now, but like right when you get some RPM in it,
It's like so we have a resonator. We're gonna try and weld that in, and then hopefully that changes the exhaust note. Go ahead and give us some revs, dude. This is what we have to work with. It's a Vibrant 3-inch resonator.
ooh,
Shiny. Let me put a fingerprint on it. Intrusive thoughts one.
ooh, okay. All right, so this is what we got to keep up with. Right here.
We don't have a TIG welder here on the premises. Give it a kiss. Yep, that's a resonator. All right, where do we want to put this resonator? Oh, there's one right there. Give it a knock. Junk.
Not doing anything.
No, if it dings back, it's junk. That's solid.
Yeah.
That's at least doing something.
Right.
We can just replace that one then.
I'm down.
All right, let's line up the new one and see if it'll fit in that area. Do you think it will? Oh yeah, that'll fit in there. Actually, that's cutting it pretty close, dude, to the heat shield. So we're thinking of putting this resonator on a slight angle to clear this heat shield. So we're gonna make some marks as to how far out we need to cut this pipe. Cool, now we just have the hanger and she's free. The old WD-40 trick. Makes it a lot easier to slide off the exhaust hangers. Dang, you put it on all of them.
I just tried to get on both sides of the top one.
Oh, I see. Oh, I love the smell of WD. Well, we realized we don't have any cutoff wheels here, and I forgot mine. Quick parts run.
But if you're looking for a magnet, I think it might be in the top right pull-out drawer or the...
We put a little zip tie here to make sure we get a nice straight cut all the way around. Although on this side, we're gonna have to cut on this edge, so we're gonna have to do our best over there. No insulation. It's almost like an exhaust amplifier.
Like a big bullet.
It does look like a big bullet.
Yeah, shot that out my tank.
This one goes towards the rear. This one is towards the front. And put that guy in the center. Sometimes these are directional. In this case, it is not. Yeah, we have quite a bit of a gap to fill up too. This side will be all right. Now that we have the metal prepped on both sides of the resonator and the resonator itself, we're gonna test fit all of this onto the car and then probably tack weld it if we're satisfied with our cut dimensions. Now we need to mount this up there, probably just hold it.
You guys want water bottles?
We're good.
But
Do you think you can hand us the resonator?
I hardly know her. How can I resonate her? There you go.
Thank you, sir. Looks like we could trim some more off of here. So it looks like we're gonna have to trim a little piece off of the rear of this resonator. The front, however, looks great. It's gonna line up really nice. And yeah, it is sideways, and that's just so it fits better. You're probably wondering, why don't we just put it somewhere where it will fit? And we don't want to put it here because that would create a new low spot in the exhaust. Just a slight trim. Test fit part 2. How's that looking down there?
It's touching the hanger still.
Still touching the hanger? Feels a lot better though.
Yeah.
It's not like wedged in there.
I agree.
Do we need to trim more off of there, do you think?
I mean, if I push it back like right here, it's not touching.
Oh, okay, that should be fine then. Yeah, it still has plenty of free play. Bet. Let's grab the welder. Now we also made some additional cuts on this flange here, and that is to hammer in these points to try and reduce it to a 2.5 inch, because this is a 3 inch and we thought the exhaust was a 3 inch. That's all right, we're working around it, we're working with what we got, we'll make it work. At the end of the day, we just don't want any exhaust leaks, you know what I mean? That's a pretty good starting point. First thing, open it slowly. Okay. That was not slowly. Oh, this was pushed in. This is supposed to be backed out all the way to start. That's all right. We can adjust that later. So the tank is full. That's good. You want it to be like that. Next, let's plug this guy in. Make sure the ground isn't touching anything. We're just setting up the welder at this point. This is Nate's fresh welder. Same one as mine, but a lot cleaner. Turned it on. Hold on real quick. We're out of wire too. The button. Now the gas should go down to 0. Okay, that's good. So we will turn this off. Now let's replace the wire. The washer too. Yeah, there you go. Now we need to take out the old wire. So to do that, push this down that way. There you go. And there's the end of it.
Just pull it?
It's easier to pull it out this way, honestly.
Or can you use the trigger?
Well, this is what drives it.
Oh, so it's out.
Yeah. There she goes. Now be very careful when you take off this spool, because then it'll go whoosh.
Yeah.
Ask me how I know.
Doesn't matter which way it goes.
Yes. See how it's coming out here?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to flip it down so that it's closer to the bottom. You want the wire to be coming out this way. So that way it doesn't have a harsh angle.
So that way.
Yeah, that way. Yeah, I usually bolt it in first too. Might be a little tight, a little bit looser. That's good, that's good.
Some tension.
Yeah, some tension, but not too much where it'll stress out your motor. Be very careful. Like, I usually pull it out and then snip all the bent stuff. That's gonna jam your gun if you try and put that in there, you know?
So it's gonna go in through here, and then you put this down and lock it in?
Yes.
Okay, I think I get it.
Hold that side.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna, I see. Transfer over. There you go, she's in. Fold, fold, fold. Sometimes you gotta push this one down a bit. There you go. All right, you can let go. Ta-da! Now, turn it on. This is why I turn the gas to 0, because we have to fish the wire all the way through here, and if you're holding the trigger, you're basically just wasting your gas, you know? So you can hold the trigger, and then just wait for it to come out. But make sure that this is actually going, which it is.
It's a boy!
Oh yeah.
It's a boy!
It touches it. Alright, we're done. It's ready. Probably bump this up to 4. Since this is exhaust, it's got some thickness to it. It can hold heat. Usually I never really change the wire speed. It's always between 40 and 50. So we'll keep it at like 45-ish. Go up or down. You look like you're ready to bake some cookies.
Dude, these are pretty sick.
You look like a real drifter now, dude.
Nakamura.
Alright, now for the gas. So this is loose. So I usually turn it till it's about 25 here. CFH. Alright, so I went a little bit above. Now, we're gonna need to hit the gun and see how much is coming out while you're holding the trigger. Perfect. Cool? Mm-hmm. Alright, we're ready to rock, dude. We gotta find a good ground spot.
To the exhaust itself.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Do I have to unplug the battery?
Technically no. First tack weld is done. I'm gonna probably do 2 more tack welds on this so that way it doesn't bend when we take it off. Close your eyes. Alright, front is done. Let's do the back now.
You look like you're scuba diving.
Got my scuba gear on. That's gonna make a noise, dude. You might have to trim your heat shield. If anything, we can try and bend it up too. So we have the resonator off now, and I was blowing through just a little bit. So I turned the heat settings down by 1 rating. I always like to start higher. That way you know you have good penetration. Good penetration means good weld, good strength, and that's the whole point of welding. So now we need to finish our welds here. Probably need to hammer this a little bit more to close up that gap. And you also want to put the ground clamp on the cleanest metal that you have. Clearance. We have the resonator ready to rock. One side has pretty decent welds. The other side we have some boogers. That's okay, we got some learning done. Right, Nate?
My side versus your side.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere. Looks pretty good though. It's not gonna leak, I'll tell you that much. Dude, I can't wait to hear those sounds.
Same.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Nice, and it's not hitting the heat shield. Ready for a test drive. I don't know why, but there's something about changing the exhaust note on a car that's just so exciting to test after you've done the work. Ooh, the tone definitely changed a little bit. Oh, the idle actually sounds the same now.
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely sounds the same right now.
Right?
Cold start.
Leak check.
Definitely leaking from that gasket a little bit.
Oh, it has a gasket leak? Damn, we didn't have new gaskets to throw on there, unfortunately. Hey, at least the welds aren't leaking.
Sounds better.
It does sound a lot
A
better.
little raspier with the other resonator.
Yeah.
Give it.
You-
So much.
Yep. Yep.
It's not. It's really way better. Like astronomically better.
Way better.
Yeah.
On that over a test drive.
Test drive. I wish we did a better before recording. This thing sounded like straight eBay exhaust. Dude, way better. Way better. You can actually have a conversation
Yeah,
in here.
You can.
That's crazy. How bad was the drone though before?
Even when you would downshift and just like engine brake at high RPM, it would like hit a threshold where it's just like straight rasp out the exhaust. So much better.
This thing sounds great right now. We're getting the drive-by treat via Tim. Oh. You would do a fat rip right there after you say, just don't do a fat rip.
Literally. don't redline it. Redlines it. Looks good though.
It does. It's not often that you get to see your own car. Job well done. Good job, everyone.
Time for some driving.
RC driving.
Yes.
Stevie has stopped by to help me transport some parts over to the garage. While he's over here, I am apologizing because I think in the drift video I may have gone a little too harsh, I guess, in my explanation. At the end I kind of explained basically how the crash happened, and I wasn't trying to do that to make anyone feel bad or put blame on anyone. It's a part of drifting, it's going to happen regardless, but I just want to clear the air that I'm not trying to talk crap about my friends. Like, I'm still friends with Stevie, I'm still friends with Omar. Drifting is just about having fun with your friends, and stuff like this is gonna happen. Stevie drives hard, he does. That's not a bad thing that Stevie drives hard. I wasn't trying to talk crap about that. So I just wanna make sure everyone is aware. So, appreciate you, dude. Friends to the end. I also met up with Omar in person and apologized to him. I wasn't trying to put my friends on blast, but after reviewing the video and watching it again, I could see how people would take it that way. I have since removed that section from the video because, again, that's not my goal from saying any of that. I think honestly I was just so focused on what problem happened and how that can be prevented. So I was just analyzing the clip when it really should not have been analyzed by myself. If I were to do something like that, I really should have had both of them there discussing it as a group and not just from one perspective. So I hope this clears the air, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Ha 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 ha!